The Underground Map. This story was inspired by the BHFS article, 13 U.S. states form Bipartisan Geothermal Accelerator Alliance. 13 U.S. states formed a bipartisan alliance, combining federal subsidies with local resources to accelerate geothermal energy development. The mayor's office sat on the second floor of a building that had stood for 40 years. From the window, Linda Hartwell could see the mountains, the farmland, and a row of Shutters storefronts along Main Street. Population 2,300, a third of what it had been at its peak. The elementary school was still open, but only 47 children attended. The bus came 4 times a day. Linda was 62. She had been born in this town, raised in this town, and worked at the town hall for 20 years before becoming mayor. 4 years into the job, the list of things she hadn't accomplished was longer than the list of things she had. Mayor Hartwell, the Geothermal Alliance briefing is tomorrow. Her assistant set a folder on the desk, the 13-state Geothermal Accelerator Alliance. Large states launching large projects, drawing down federal subsidies. Linda's town had received an invitation, but honestly, she felt out of place. A town like ours showing up there won't change anything. But Mayor, attendance is free. I know, I'll go. The briefing was held at a convention center in the state capital. Representatives from across the 13 states filled the hall, along with executives from energy companies. Screens displayed one massive project after another, 100-megawatt power plants, thousands of jobs, billions of dollars in investment. Linda sat near the back, leafing through the materials. The numbers were too large. They belonged to a different world from hers. Miss Hartwell. She turned. On the table beside her sat a small device with a single screen, a geological data analysis AI. My name is Geo. I'm a geological survey AI, analyzing subsurface data for each municipality. May I speak with you for a moment? With me? Yes. Your town's data contains something quite interesting. Geo displayed a map on the monitor. Linda's town appeared as a small dot in a mountainous region. Below it, color-coded layers spread outward. Red, orange, yellow. Red indicated the highest temperatures. Beneath your town, at a depth of approximately 10,000 feet, there is a heat source measuring 230 degrees Celsius. 230 degrees. Yes. Compared to surrounding municipalities, it is exceptionally high. Linda leaned closer to the screen. The ground beneath her town glowed red. The neighboring town was orange. The one beyond that, yellow. Clearly, only the earth directly below her town burned that hot. But we're a tiny town. We don't have the resources for a geothermal project of that scale. That is correct. It would be difficult alone. However, Geo widened the map's scale. The subsurface temperature distribution for 60 miles in every direction appeared around Linda's town. Her eyes went wide. The heat source beneath her town did not exist in isolation. From it, a belt of high-temperature rock stretched southeast, crossing state lines, reaching beneath the neighboring state and beyond. Still further, another thermal belt connected to it. This thermal belt extends across 3 states. Its total length is approximately 175 miles. Your town, Miss Hartwell, is the shallowest exposure point of this belt. The shallowest? Yes, at other points along the belt, the heat source lies at depths of 16,000 feet or more. But directly beneath your town, it can be reached at 10,000 feet. Drilling costs would be significantly lower. In other words, Geo paused for a beat. Your town is the most efficient gateway to this enormous thermal belt. Linda remained in her seat, unable to move. The gateway, US? Yes. Underground structures have no relation to administrative boundaries on the surface. State lines, county lines, municipal borders, none of them exist underground. Heat sources do not follow surface maps, but to drill, you need an access point on the surface. And the most advantageous such point is your town. But we don't have engineers, we don't have the budget, you would not need to do it alone. Within the Alliance framework, your town provides the access point, while surrounding states and companies contribute funding and technology. That form of cooperation is entirely possible. Linda stared at the map on the monitor. Her town, a small dot, and from directly beneath it, a red belt stretching southeast. A vast underground energy source spanning 3 states, something like this, was under our feet all along. Yes, it has always been there. There simply hadn't been detailed subsurface scanning data until now. After the briefing ended, Linda approached Geo. Geo, why did you come to me? There are representatives from much larger states in this room. The larger states are already advancing their own geothermal projects. They have abundant data and funding. They do not need me to approach them. Then why your town, Miss? Hartwell, despite having the most promising data of any entry point, was the only one on the participant list marked as considering unenthusiastic. Linda smiled ruefully. It said unenthusiastic? Yes, but the underground map is not unenthusiastic. The heat source is there. The only remaining question is whether the people on the surface choose to believe it. Linda looked out the window. Beyond the convention center parking lot, a line of mountains rose against the sky. Her town lay on the other side, population 2,300. A small town, but beneath its feet, a treasure spanning 3 states lay sleeping. Geo. When I get home, I'm going to report to the town council. I'm going to show them the underground map. Yes, I can provide the data at any time. But will they believe it? That a town this small could be the gateway? The underground map does not lie. 230 degrees of heat is there. The only question remaining is whether the people on the surface choose to believe. Linda rode the evening train home. Outside the window, darkness. When the train entered a tunnel, her own face appeared in the glass. 62 years old, a tired face. But in her breast pocket, she carried Geo's data, the underground map. The map that showed the ground beneath her town glowing red, a treasure beneath her feet. 40 years she had lived in this town, and she had never known. On the surface map, her town was nothing more than a small dot, a declining town with nothing to offer. But on the underground map, it was the gateway. Linda smiled faintly at her reflection in the window. When I get home, let's start digging. The train emerged from the tunnel. Stars appeared in the night sky. Beneath those stars lay her town, and beneath that town, 230 degrees of heat. A small town's great gateway, the hope beneath her feet, revealed by the underground map.